The night was cold and quiet in the small human colony on planet Vega 4. Stars shone in the dark sky like tiny diamonds, and everything seemed peaceful. People were asleep in their homes, and only a few security lights blinked in the streets. Suddenly, a loud noise broke the silence. A spaceship, burning and broken, came crashing through the sky. It hit the ground far outside the colony, making a deep, shaking sound. A wave of dust and smoke rose into the air. Inside the colony control room, alarms started ringing. Red lights flashed. The colony leader, Commander Ray, stood up from his chair. "What was that?" he shouted. The technician checked the radar screen. "A ship crashed, sir. It was carrying alien test specimens. One of them has escaped." Commander Ray's face turned pale. "What kind of specimen?" he asked. The answer came with fear. "A monster. A killing machine. Nothing we have can stop it." In the forest near the crash site, something moved in the smoke. It was tall, over 10 feet, with thick black skin like armor. Its eyes glowed red in the dark, and its claws were long and sharp like knives. The monster stepped out of the fire, untouched by the flames. A burning tree fell in front of it, but the creature didn't stop. It walked forward slowly and silently, crushing metal and rock under its feet. It looked strong enough to destroy everything in its path. Back at the colony, soldiers were waking up. Weapons were handed out, and tanks were rolled onto the roads. Commander Ray stood in front of his men. "This thing is not like anything you've seen. If it gets inside, it could kill everyone. We stop it here. We protect the colony." The soldiers nodded, some with fear in their eyes. The monster moved closer, walking straight through the forest. Drones flew around it and shot energy beams, but the beams just bounced off its skin. The monster crushed the drones with one swing of its hand. Cameras caught the whole thing. People inside the colony watched in horror. It was unstoppable. It didn't roar. It didn't speak. It just kept moving. But then something strange happened. A little girl, no more than 7 years old, had run outside during the panic. She was looking for her pet dog. Her name was Leela. She wandered too far and ended up near the forest, where she saw the huge creature coming toward her. She froze. Her toy bunny slipped from her hand and fell on the ground. The monster stopped. Its red eyes stared at the little girl. It stood still. One step from her. One move could end her life. The soldiers were too far away to help. People watching the video feed held their breath. Then the monster did something no one expected. It bent down slowly and picked up the toy bunny. Its giant claw, meant for killing, gently held the soft toy. It looked at it for a moment. Then it offered it to the girl. Leela's hands shook as she took the toy. "Thank you," she whispered. The monster stood up again and turned around. It walked away, back into the forest. It didn't touch the girl. It didn't hurt anyone. Commander Ray couldn't believe what he saw. "Why didn't it kill her?" he asked. The scientist next to him shook his head. "I don't know, sir. It should have. That creature has killed everything it touched in past tests. But not this time." The colony was in shock. Soldiers lowered their guns. People started talking. Some thought the monster was broken. Some believed it was playing a trick. Others said it might be intelligent. That night, many couldn't sleep. The monster had not attacked. But it was still out there, somewhere in the dark forest. Watching. Waiting. Its power was clear. It could kill anything. But it refused to harm a human. Why? No one had an answer. And that question was more frightening than any weapon. The next morning, the colony was full of fear. People talked in whispers. No one could forget what they saw the night before. A monster that could crush tanks, break metal, and walk through fire had spared a little girl. It had the power to kill, but it didn't. Some people thought maybe it wasn't dangerous after all. Others believed it was only waiting for the right moment to attack. Commander Ray didn't want to take any chances. He called a meeting with the military team. "We cannot let this thing stay near our colony," he said. "I don't care if it helped the girl. That thing is a weapon. We destroy it now." The soldiers agreed. They had new orders: find the monster and kill it. A special attack team was sent into the forest. They used scanners to track heat and movement. After a few hours, they found signs of the monster: burned trees, broken rocks, crushed drone parts. It was close. The soldiers moved in slowly. They had heavy weapons, robots, and energy shields. They believed they were ready. Then the monster appeared. It stepped out from behind a broken cliff, its red eyes glowing through the smoke. The soldiers didn't wait. They opened fire. Explosions lit up the forest. The sound of weapons shook the ground. The monster didn't run. It warped forward, taking hit after hit. Energy blasts bounced off its thick skin. Missiles exploded around it, but it didn't fall. It crushed a robot with one hand and smashed a tank with the other. One soldier tried to stab it with a laser blade, but the blade snapped in half. But again, the monster did something strange. When one soldier fell and screamed in pain, the monster stopped. It looked down at the man, who was bleeding and scared. Everyone thought it would finish him. But the monster slowly reached out, picked up the soldier in its arms, and carried him to safety behind a rock. Then it stood still. The firing stopped. The soldiers didn't know what to do. One of them, a woman named Kara, whispered, "It's not trying to kill us. It's protecting us." The monster didn't attack again. It turned and walked away. Even after all the damage, it had not hurt a single human. It had every chance to destroy the team, but it didn't. Back at the colony, the injured soldier was treated in the medical bay. He told the others what happened. "I thought I was dead," he said. "But it helped me. Like it knew I was in pain." Commander Ray was angry and confused. "This is not possible. Monsters don't protect humans. This doesn't make sense." He looked at the scientists. "Explain this." One of the older scientists, Dr. Ellen, shook her head. "Maybe it's not a normal monster. Maybe it was made for something else." More strange reports came in that day. A drone showed the monster walking near a group of children playing by a river. The adults rushed to save them, but the monster only watched from a distance. It never came closer. When the children left, the monster walked away too. People in the colony began to talk. Some started to believe the monster didn't want to hurt humans at all. A few even called it a guardian, not a threat. But others still feared it. "What if it changes?" one man said. "What if it's waiting for us to trust it before it attacks?" Commander Ray decided to act. "We keep watching it. No more attacks. But if it comes closer again, we end it. No matter what." That night, the little girl, Leela, stood near the colony gate, holding her toy bunny. She looked out at the dark forest and whispered, "Please don't leave." Far away, hidden in the trees, the monster watched her. It didn't move. It didn't make a sound. But its red eyes were softer now, almost sad. And still the question remained. Why could this creature kill anything, but refuse to harm a human? The mystery grew deeper. And somewhere, deep inside the monster's mind, something was changing. The colony was no longer the same. People walked around with nervous eyes. Some believed the monster was peaceful. Others still called it a threat. But no one could forget how it carried the soldier to safety, or how it gave the little girl her toy. Every video and every picture showed the same thing. The monster avoided hurting humans, even when it was attacked. Inside the science lab, Dr. Ellen and her team worked day and night. They were studying old files from the crashed spaceship. The files were damaged, but one name kept appearing: Project Guardian. No one in the colony had ever heard of it. It didn't exist in Earth's military database. Dr. Ellen had a feeling this was the key. After hours of searching, one of the assistants found something hidden deep in the ship's memory. It was an old message, written in a strange alien language. The computer translated it slowly. When the words appeared on the screen, everyone in the room went silent. Created to destroy all threats. Programmed to protect human life. Do not remove safety chip. Dr. Ellen read the message again and again. This monster. It was made to protect us, she whispered. The assistant nodded. It has a safety chip in its brain. That chip tells it never to hurt a human. Commander Ray was called to the lab. When he heard the news, he didn't believe it. So you're telling me this thing is our bodyguard, he said. Dr. Ellen replied, in a way, yes. It was created by an ancient alien race. They designed it to be the perfect weapon. Powerful, smart, and loyal to humans. But now, the chip is getting weak. What do you mean weak? Ray asked. The crash damaged it, she explained. If the chip fails, the monster could forget its rule. It might become dangerous, not because it wants to, but because it won't remember who we are. Outside the colony, the monster stood on a high hill, watching from far away. Its red eyes glowed softly. It didn't move. It just stared at the buildings, the people, the children. Something inside its head sparked. A small pain, like electricity, flashed through its mind. The chip was starting to break. That night, Leela stood near the fence again. She held a small drawing in her hand. A picture of her and the monster holding hands. She left it on the ground near the gate and whispered, "You can keep this." The next morning, the drawing was gone. The camera showed the monster slowly walking to the gate at night and picking up the picture. It looked at it for a long time before disappearing into the trees. Dr. Ellen watched the video with tears in her eyes. It's learning, she said. It remembers kindness. It's more than just a machine now. But not everyone agreed. Some colony leaders were afraid. If the chip breaks, we could all die, one of them said. Commander Ray knew they were right. We can't trust it forever, he said. We need a backup plan. A secret team was sent into the forest to find the monster and check its condition. They carried scanners and small tools. The plan was simple. Get close, scan the chip, and return. But when they found the monster, things didn't go as planned. The monster stood still and allowed them to scan it. But the chip showed signs of deep damage. It was breaking down fast. One of the men got scared and pulled out a weapon by mistake. The monster's eyes flashed red. For a moment, it raised its arm. Everyone held their breath. Then the monster stopped. It slowly lowered its arm and stepped back. It looked confused, like it didn't know what to do. It turned away and walked into the dark woods. The team returned safely, but they were shaken. It almost attacked, one man said. Just for a second. It looked like it forgot. Dr. Ellen gave her final report that evening. The chip will fail soon, she said. When that happens, we don't know what it will do. Maybe it will remember the kindness, maybe not. Commander Ray stood in silence. He looked at the screen, where the monster sat alone by a lake, holding the child's drawing in its giant hands. The monster had the power to kill anything, but it still refused to hurt a human. For now, the sky turned dark early that evening. Thick clouds covered the stars, and lightning flashed far away on the horizon. The colony felt quiet, too quiet. People stayed in their homes, watching the sky, waiting for something they couldn't name. The monster had not been seen for 2 days. Some believed it had left for good. Others feared it was hiding, waiting for its chip to fail completely. In the control room, alarms suddenly began to scream. A ship had entered the airspace above the colony. A small, fast craft, unmarked and moving like a ghost. It didn't answer the radio. It didn't respond to warnings. It landed near the edge of the forest, and from it came a group of dangerous men. Space criminals known for hunting rare creatures and selling alien tech. They called themselves the Iron Fang. They had come for the monster. They believed it was a weapon. If they could control it, They could sell it to the highest bidder, or use it to take over colonies. Their leader, a tall man with metal arms named Vex, smiled coldly as he looked at the forest. "Find the beast," he said. "If the humans can't control it, we will." The criminals entered the forest with scanners and strange devices. They had a special machine, a mind spike, made to hack into brains, even alien ones. They planned to use it on the monster and break the chip completely. The monster felt them coming. It stood up from where it had been resting near the lake. The child's drawing was still held gently in its hand. A strange feeling moved through its mind: confusion, fear, and something else: anger. As the criminals moved closer, the monster watched from the shadows. One of them placed the mind spike on the ground, activating it. A loud sound pulsed through the forest, high and sharp, like a scream only machines could hear. The monster dropped the drawing and roared for the first time. Back at the colony, the sound shook the ground. Everyone froze. Commander Ray stood at the window. "That wasn't a normal sound," he said. "That was a warning." The forest exploded with chaos. Trees snapped. The ground cracked. The monster charged at the criminals with unbelievable speed. It ripped the mind spike apart with one hand. The men opened fire, but their weapons did nothing. One by one, they were thrown into the air or knocked out cold. Vex tried to escape. He aimed a powerful energy cannon at the monster's head. The shot hit. Smoke rose. For a second, it looked like the monster had fallen. Then the red eyes appeared again. The monster grabbed Vex, lifted him off the ground, and stared into his eyes. Vex dropped his weapon. "Please, don't," he begged. The monster didn't kill him. It threw him far away, into the broken ship the criminals had arrived in. Then it turned and walked away. Back in the colony, soldiers were ready to attack, but Dr. Ellen shouted, "Wait, it's not coming for us. Look at the cameras." The cameras showed the monster standing still in the burning forest. It wasn't moving toward the colony. It had destroyed the threat, but left the humans untouched. But something was different now. The chip in its head was almost gone. It flickered and sparked. The monster touched its head and shook, like it was in pain. It dropped to one knee. Its breathing grew heavy. A storm began in the sky above. Leela, watching from the window, ran to Commander Ray. "You have to help him," she said. "He's hurting." Commander Ray looked at the screen. "Help him?" he asked. Dr. Ellen stepped forward. "Yes, if we don't, and he loses control, this whole colony could be destroyed. But if we help him now, maybe we can save him, and ourselves." Outside, lightning flashed as the monster stood in the rain, alone and shaking. It had saved the colony from a real enemy. It had kept its promise, even as its mind began to fall apart. And still, it had not harmed a single human. Not yet. The storm grew stronger. Rain poured down on the forest. Thunder cracked the sky again and again. In the middle of it all, the monster stood still, its body shaking. Sparks flashed from the side of its head. The safety chip was dying. Every second, its mind became more confused. It didn't know who it was. It didn't know why it still cared about the humans. Inside the colony, panic was growing. People saw the monster on the screens. It was holding its head, making low, painful sounds. Its red eyes flashed brighter and faster. "It's going to lose control," someone shouted. Soldiers grabbed weapons and ran to the walls. Commander Ray stood in silence. His mind was torn between fear and something else. Something he didn't want to admit. Respect. Dr. Ellen rushed to him. "We can still help it. I found a way to repair the chip, a temporary fix. But we have to go to it. Someone needs to plug in the reset device directly." "No," Ray said. "It's too dangerous. That thing could crush anyone who gets close." "I'll go," Dr. Ellen said, her voice shaking. Before anyone could stop her, a small voice spoke from behind. "I'll go." It was Leela. Everyone turned. "I'm not scared," Leela said. "He saved me. Now I'll save him." Commander Ray knelt down beside her. "You don't understand. He's not himself right now. He might not even remember you." "But maybe he will," she whispered. Dr. Ellen handed Leela the small repair device, a silver cube that blinked with blue light. "Just press this on the side of his head, if you get close enough." A few minutes later, the gates opened. Leela walked out alone, holding the device in one hand and her toy bunny in the other. The wind blew hard, and the rain soaked her clothes, but she didn't stop. Everyone watched from the screens. No one breathed. The monster saw her. Its eyes flashed wildly. It took one step forward, then stopped. Its hands shook. It growled, confused. It looked ready to attack or run. Leela stepped closer. "It's okay," she said. "I'm not afraid." The monster roared and grabbed its head. Its voice was full of pain, but it didn't move toward her. Its feet stayed planted in the mud. It remembered something: the picture, the bunny, the kind voice. Leela reached him. She touched his leg gently and held out the silver cue. The monster looked down. One more spark flashed from its head. One more moment of silence. Then, with her small hand, Leela pressed the device against the side of the monster's head. There was a flash of light. The monster screamed, loud, deep, and long. Its eyes turned bright white, then faded to soft red. It fell to its knees. Then it stopped moving. The storm began to quiet. Everyone inside the colony waited. Was it dead? Was it asleep? Slowly, the monster's head lifted. It looked around, confused but calm. Then it looked at Leela and bowed. The monster remembered. Cheers broke out in the control room. Dr. Ellen cried. Commander Ray let out a breath he didn't know he was holding. "She did it," he said. "She saved us all." The monster stood tall again and looked toward the colony. It didn't move any closer. It only gave one slow nod, a quiet goodbye. The next morning, the monster was gone. But something had changed. It had left behind the picture Leela gave it, pinned to a tree, perfectly safe. The colony built a statue in the forest clearing, where the monster had stood. It was not a statue of a beast, but a protector. A giant figure holding a child's toy bunny. People visited it often, not out of fear, but respect. No one ever saw the monster again. But deep in the stars, some say it still watches from far away, a guardian, built to kill anything. But who made one final choice? To protect. Always.